Hey, nice house. I said, nice house. You live there? Little girl's having a birthday, huh?
Yes.
Nice to have a family.
Yes, it is.
Man should take care. See that nothing happens to him.
Now, I do believe that there's something else going on with Facebook, aside from what we're being told or the cover story that we're being given. But I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on the shelf for a while for this one. Now, the recent revelation with Mark Zuckerberg deciding to ease censorship on Facebook, it reminds me of something I threw out there a while back. And I threw it out there because aside from the exception to the rule, because you know there usually is an exception to just about everything. But aside from the exception, we all know that business's main priority is money. Profit, right? And I threw this out there about the time Bud Light was being boycotted. And I asked, why would all these different kinds of businesses follow a model, one after another and each by each? Why would they follow a model that they have witnessed cause businesses hundreds of millions of dollars in lost revenue? Storefront type businesses, colleges, and other types of businesses lose. But they will still institute this woke progressive thing into their business. And even instituting these programs into their businesses costs a lot of money to even start with. And you know what? As a matter of fact, never mind the hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, don't completely never mind it. Don't completely forget it or exclude it, because it does count. But never mind the hundreds of millions of dollars. Forget about the money amount. Because small and mom pop size businesses have gone bankrupt too. Have had to close their doors after being in business for years. And some had to shut down almost as soon as they opened, trying to do this woke program. Hence the slogan, go woke, go broke. I know some of y'all have heard people say that. But one by one, each by each, they follow after each other and they keep doing it. And I rhetorically asked, why would they do that? Why follow directly behind a failed model?
And then recently, Mark Zuckerberg from Meta was on the Joe Rogan Experience. He was talking about the kind of pressure that he got, that Facebook got from the Biden administration to censor during COVID. Watch.
During the Biden administration, when they were trying to roll out the vaccine program, while they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who was basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that were honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, you know, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
But he did.
Right.
And he's a weasel. just like everybody covering their you-know-whats in the fire.
The First Amendment does apply to the government. That's like the whole point, right? Is the government is not allowed to censor this stuff. So at some level, I do think that, you know, having people in the administration calling up the guys on our team and yelling at them and cursing and threatening repercussions if we don't take down things that are true is like, it's pretty bad.
Just like I figured. And not just here in the United States, but other governments have been doing that to businesses too. And they don't threaten these businesses outright. The government's threats to these businesses be like, kind of like,
Two civilian gentlemen to see you, sir!
Gentlemen, please, Sergeant.
Mr. Dino Faccotti and Mr. Luigi Faccotti!
Morning, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
You've got a nice army base there, Colonel.
Yes.
We wouldn't want anything to happen to it.
Nice business you got there, Zuckerberg. Be ashamed if something were to happen to it. Government did the same thing to Twitter and other sites. Other businesses are having these same pressures put on them and forcing them into these woke programs like DEI, CRT, ESG, CBDC, and other acronyms like CEI. All these acronyms are designed to crumble businesses in order to force all private ownership into the hands of government and to force everybody onto a UBI, a universal basic income.
Should this be calling me, man? Be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it.
Yeah, I had to put my tinfoil hat back on. Couldn't resist, it was calling me. But all this speaks to something else I was thinking for a long while. It is a bogus argument that I've heard people use when they want to co-sign censorship. But the bogus argument is partly true, but mostly false. Now, the co-sign censorship people will say it's a private business and they can censor what they want on their platforms. It is true, it is private business, but how private is it when you have government essentially controlling it and using it as a gun to silence political opposition and other forms of dissent? So how private could these businesses be, really?
See that nothing happens to you.